Welcome to another shark review. And today we're looking at Mega Shark versus Mecha Shark. An ingenious title. You got Mega Shark. Mega Sharks come back. And now we got a Mecha Shark. We got a giant robot shark. And they're going to battle. Well, they're supposed to. So we got Mega Shark versus Mecha Shark. Let's get right into that. The third movie of the Mega series. So the plot of Mega Shark versus Mecha Shark is that another iceberg is brought to the harbor to get water, ice. I don't even really know why they brought a giant iceberg to the harbor, but they do. They bring one, and it turns out a Mega Shark was frozen in the ice. There are then these two pilots who are piloting the Mecha Shark when they get a call from the government to come and destroy the Mecha Shark. The Mega Shark. And so they're going to use the Mecha Shark. The story sounds pretty dumb, and that's because it is, to an extent, but I actually think it's a decent enough premise. It's probably the best and least stupid of all the Mega Shark movies in terms of plot, so I'll have to give it a pass, actually. So for screen time of the shark, we actually have two sharks. We have Mega Shark and then Mecha. No, Mega himself doesn't actually get too much screen time. It's not as bad as, say, when Mega Shark fought Crocosaurus, where he was barely in the movie like at all. He's in it a bit more than that. But Mecha Shark has much more screen time, that's for sure, like a decent amount more. It's a good thing I like Mecha Shark. I mean, he's a shark also. Well, it is a shark also, so that's good. There's pretty good screen time with the sharks in the movie, that's for sure. It's a good portion of the movie, I will say. And I never felt that there were large pacing issues. I feel that the sharks were on screen a pretty good amount of the time. Not as much as I would personally like, but a pretty good amount of time. But to be fair, they're both sharks, so each one of them gets a decent amount of screen time. Obviously, Mecha gets much more than Mega, but combined, it's a nice amount of screen time. When it comes to the sharks being on screen, though, how was the kills? This is where I gotta say the movie is quite a bit lacking. The shark really doesn't go on a total rampage here. It's pretty limited in terms of how many kills it gets. I will say that some of them are good. Like one scene they try to recreate when Mega Shark took down the plane, where it was able to take down the plane, which was one of the best parts of Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus. It was a nice throwback, but then Mecha Shark flies into the air to deflect it. I really did like that throwback. Overall, though, the kills, I gotta say, were really just kind of meh. Mecha Shark kills were good, that's for sure. The CGI was not totally horrible, but it was certainly just meh again. They certainly could have looked a lot worse, and it did come out later, but the CGI was starting to get a little better in these movies. It's almost like they were trying and didn't just use a Google image or something. I will say Mecha Shark looked pretty bad. Like, it just looked super robotic, pun intended, and fake, and it was just hilarious. The animation was just pretty abysmal and was just way too stiff, especially when it's moving in the city. The animation of Mecha Shark was just so rigid and stiff. It was honestly pretty funny, to say the least. It certainly got a good chuckle out of me. When it comes to the acting of this Mega Shark movie, it actually doesn't do that horrible of a job. I'll say the main two actors, the couple, they were decent enough. I mean, they didn't have any truly cringeworthy dialogue, unfortunately, but it seems like they almost tried. Everyone else was pretty bad. I mean, that's how it is in these kind of movies where you get maybe two people who are trying and everyone else is pretty horrible. But they were like good enough, I guess. They were there. I mean, they sold the idea of a giant mechanical shark pretty well. So it wasn't total shit, but it was just kind of average. This brings me to my conclusion, the overall. I actually think this shark movie is a little bit better than average. It's pretty average all around, but it's better than all the other Mega Shark movies. I mean, this is easily the best Mega Shark movie, that's for sure. It has the most shark out of any of them. Granted, there are two in this one, so maybe that's a little unfair. CGI wasn't super horrible, and neither was some of the acting. It was just very average, I will say. The title of the movie is ingenious and fantastic. I'd say the majority of the movie was just all around pretty average, but the kills, CGI, it's not generic, but it just gets the job done and is slightly better than that. With all that said, I'm going to have to give the third installment of the Mega Shark series a solid 3 out of 5. It's an average to decent shark movie. It has some good parts, but it just doesn't really excel past just being good. It meets the mark, does a tiny bit extra, but it doesn't really get past that. I gotta say, though, this is the best in the Mega Shark series. I guess third time really is the charm. So I'll see you guys on a hopefully a little bit better shark movie.